it's not showing up on my thing. There it goes. Yay. We are live. Welcome to Sunday service. We are here to serve, and we've had a few sessions of Sunday service to be able to answer your questions, let you know all of the different wealth factors that we are a part of, and also answer all the questions that have come in. We have a few today that I want to make sure that we are we live?
We are. That was me.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's good. That's good. Well, it's important to know like where we're at because if we don't, then we don't know if this is in vain or not. Okay. I don't see us in the group.
We are. We're in the group. I was making sure that all the buttons were pushed right. That's why you could hear us double talking.
Double talking. I love it. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to our Sunday service where we answer all your questions around real estate investing, personal and business credit, getting your debt paid off in half the time, money management stuff. We are all about 100 days to money, Christmas. So where you can make more money, pay off some of your debt, and have more money. And then also create the plan that's going to catapult you for 2026. I don't know if you all know this, but we are in a cycle of, I'm going to say a cycle, I'm going to say a season, right? So the fall season is coming. I just made pumpkin muffins with chocolate chips. Oh my God, it was so good. So like it's a different season now. Baking comes in and all kinds of things change, right? Well, I want to say that about real estate. It has seasons, and right now the season is just like if you were Sunday doing barbecue, right? I mean, summertime you're going to go out and do barbecue and whatnot, and then towards the winter you want to do baking. I mean, is that what you do, Becky? Kind of.
That's so funny. You're so cute. If I cooked, yes. My son does that kind of stuff for us.
Oh yeah, that's right. He loves to cook.
Yes. But I do love to bake. And I love making pumpkin rolls. So pumpkin roll muffins with chocolate chips sound amazing. I'm gonna have to come get some from you.
So good.
Mhm.
And they're high. I made them high protein with protein.
Oh, yay. Well, then I need that recipe.
They're actually healthy pumpkin
Yay.
muffins. So, but I say that because right now the season of real estate is so we're chipping away, sort of like the Titanic was pushing through all the ice, right? We've chipped through yet another section, and that means the lower interest rate that's come in, and they're going to do it again. And I really don't care what you think about Trump. He is trying to chip away at that rate and bring it down for us. But he is working on that. And that is getting rid of our frozen market, right? It's chipping away at it. And so we can get through it. That's for the single family as well as multifamily. So a lot of things are going to start moving in single family. And in multifamily right now, there's trillions coming due where they cannot refinance or keep their property, right? So if you guys know the cycle of multifamily, it's to acquire it. Almost every investor in multifamily, I don't know, well, that's kind of heavy to say, but quite a few investors do the BRRRR strategy with multifamily. They acquire it and then they basically flip it for, 5 to 7 years, get all that in there, do some CapEx, and then it's time to sell. So that is a natural path that investors go through. And right now there's a lot of them coming due and they're going to let them go to the market, but they're at a different price. So this is a correction in multifamily that nobody's seen in my lifetime, right? For sure. And I'm not even sure how far back, but it's a different world right now. So that's what I want to preface this particular call around and answer any questions y'all have. But we do have some questions. And Becky, I want to ask you, what could somebody potentially do? Like, what are you seeing in the personal and business credit world right now?
That's a great question. I have a lot of people coming to me looking for, they're over leveraged. And so they're looking for how do I quickly increase my credit score so that I can gain access to funding for my next project. And so it seems like that seems to be a strategy question that I get a lot. And part of strategy with credit cards is there's several different strategies that we can put in place. Some of them, if you're using your personal credit and it's looking like you might need it for a project and it's getting over leveraged, what you can do, as long as you've made all your payments on time, you're doing good, and the balances are kind of low, not maxed out, you can call and ask the bank if they'll raise your limits. And so if they raise your limits on your credit cards, and what that does once they report that to the credit bureaus, it instantly increases your score because it shows that you have more credit available to you than what you're using. Sometimes that's a good strategy to use even when you don't need it. And the reason is because they're more likely to up the limit so that once you do need it, then you have it. And so sometimes people can do that as a natural practice. You can actually apply once every 6 months to get that kind of raise on your personal credit. And then I know you have a business credit question, but go ahead and move on to the next subject for the moment, and then we'll circle back around to business credit cards and how we can leverage all that funness.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because real estate is a season, right? We have different seasons that we're in, and sometimes, and I know business credit has changed in the last 12 months. And so that's why I asked the question, like, what season is business credit in, and how can people leverage it? What are things that they should look out for? And could they use business credit to acquire real estate?
They absolutely can use business credit to acquire real estate. Business credit cards, you can get access to business credit cards in your business name that is not personally guaranteed. That's one type. And so basically, you build business credit, and it's a lot like building personal credit. You buy stuff and pay it off for 4 to 6 months. And then once you have that business credit score, then you do the next step, which is stacking business credit cards. And so when you get a business credit card, typically they're 10 to 100 times more than personal credit cards because they understand you're a business. Now, don't think you're going to go start some very basic business and then 4 to 6 months later, they're going to give you $100,000 in credit cards. It does not work that way. You do have to build out your profile. You do have to build it out slowly. And then as you get access to more business credit cards, they're more willing to up your limits. And you can use your personal credit to get it started. So what a lot of people don't know is you can get business credit cards in your business name that you personally guarantee, but don't show up on your personal credit. And so you're still personally guarantee them. They don't show up on your personal credit. They start showing up on your business credit report. It starts building your business credit report. And now, once you have that business credit score, now you can apply for business credit cards in your business name. And they're more likely to give you whatever your high limit is on your personal credit. So say you have a $20,000 credit card. Well, guess what? They're going to match that on your business credit side. And what we teach people to do is business credit card stacking, where we have a company that we work with that knows the right order to apply for everything. So inquiries don't show up and all the things, and they'll apply for 3 to 5 business credit cards all at the same time. So to answer your question, how do I buy real estate with my credit cards? If you do business credit card stacking, and you get 5 cards at $20,000 a piece, then that's $100,000 worth of credit cards. Well, bam, go find you a cheap house, buy it, and then now you have money to work with to fix it up, or fix and flip, or ditch the bank, or you could use it for rehab money. It doesn't show up on your personal credit, so it's not going to max that out and lowers your scores. So now you still have your personal credit toolbox, and now you have a business credit toolbox.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So One of the questions we got here is, um, so can I get business credit cards or lines of credit even if my business is brand spanking new?
Yes, absolutely. You use your personal credit to start out with, and that's how you do that. So you do credit card stacking just like that, but you use your personal credit first. I did it with a lawn company back in the day, and they got access to $35,000 in credit cards to get their lawn business started by using their personal credit. They had good credit scores, and they already had high limits on credit cards, things like that.
Okay, cool, cool. And then someone else just asked, why should I even bother with business credit if I already have personal credit?
To keep your liabilities separate, of course, and
Yeah.
because that's two tools in your toolbox. And mostly what you should be using your personal credit for is to buy like your personal house and maybe cars. You really shouldn't be using your personal credit for anything other than that. You should be keeping your liabilities separate for a whole bunch of reasons, because I've seen people's scores tank over and over and over again because they use their business, they use their personal credit to start a new business. The business goes under, and then now their personal credit goes under, and now it takes them 5 times longer to get back on top of their financial situation because they rushed into this business idea without testing it and making sure it was going to work and not tank their whole life. That's how people with money do it, is they they start an LLC and they keep it separate. They keep their liabilities separate so that if it goes under, you don't go under too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. Hey, Jessica. Jessica has a question. Where does your credit score need to be?
So typically they want to see 680 and up scores to apply for any kind of business credit cards. So 680 and up, under 30% utilization on your credit cards, what's your highest limit. Usually I do an analysis and I look over all that for you. And then the company that I work with, we send it over to them and they say how much they can get you and what their fees are to do that for the credit card stacking.
Nice, nice. And then, what is the most you've been able to get for people? Let's pull out an example so they can see what is possible. And we're not saying you could get it. We're just saying that, here's an example of what's been done in the past. Do you have a couple of?
Sure. Well, the most that we've done, one guy, we helped him get $2.6 million in business credit. And so it wasn't we were running gas stations, and so it wasn't just one thing. We did credit card stacking, we did equipment loans, we did other types of loans, but ended up altogether being about $2.6 million. I've helped somebody that was running a daycare, and she got access to lines of credit, and then she also was able to buy the commercial building that she was using for her daycare. I've helped a couple, they're speakers that work on getting more speaking gigs, helped them get $50,000 in business credit cards to cover payroll and marketing and some other things. There was this other guy that I helped get $65,000 in business credit cards. The lawn mowing dude, I don't know. I could go on and on. I have example after example of how much we could get people.
I love it. And that's exactly what I think we were looking for here, was just an example. I hope that was helpful, Jessica. Hey, Trisha, how you doing? And then the other thing I think that follows through hand in hand with that is, so that's a great way for you to get cash, right? It's a great way for you to get cash. And then leveraging that, if they have high interest, not even, so I said this the other day. I said high interest debt. And someone said, well, I don't have high interest. I got a 5%. So we got to love them where they're at, right? It's people just don't know what they don't know, right? And credit cards, anywhere from, I don't even think anyone gets a 15% anymore. It's like 25, 30% on your credit cards. when you stack all of these, how are you managing that? Like how do we get to pay them off fast?
I'm so glad you asked that, Joanna. No, I'm just kidding. I use a money management system. So basically, it's a tool that shows you how to pay the least amount of interest in the fastest amount of time mathematically possible. It's a GPS for your money. So if I'm going to show people how to be strategic with their money, I'm going to show people how to be strategic with their money. In other words, I might show you how to go get these business credit cards, but I'm sure going to show you how to work your way out of them too, so that you don't lose everything like I did the first decade of my life. And then I turn around in the second decade of my life, I guess the second decade and the third decade of my life, I lost everything. And it's so heartbreaking to recover from something like that,
Mhm.
that sometimes it's hard to even figure out how to move forward because you're afraid you'll fail again. And, oh, I'm just not good with money anyway, even though people don't realize what they're really paying in interest. And so we have a tool that shows exactly to the penny what they're going to pay in interest if they do it the bank's way or our way. And so that's the short answer to your question.
I love it. So, and then the same thing goes for, mortgages, having mortgages, being able to pay those off either so that you get to your equity faster or
Mm,
you get your cash flow faster,
mhm,
right? If you have a
mhm.
home in your investment properties, being able to get to that faster is key. Um, my students, when they come on board to do their real estate investing, um, they're stacking up properties. I think Don Donna and Shauna. Gosh,
Sean.
Dawn and
Yeah, it
Donna.
could be Shauna. No, I'm just kidding.
The Shadana.
Yay.
Oh, let's make it an official name. Um, that they've gone from 0 to 67 doors, right?
Mm.
They've had their challenges. They just did their first six-figure flip, and they close on the 8th. So I'm excited for them. Um, And what they also learned was what they went in it at 6 figures, right? Like, we're going to do this 6 figures, and knowing that the market was turning. So they're not making exactly 6 figures. But that was the original number gap. And this is where I keep my students safe is we do that extra padding to make sure it's a good deal. So if the market does shift, you're still okay, right? And I see so many investors mess that up. Um, but they are leveraging all the systems available to be able to get more property, more doors, more cash flow. They do this full time now. They didn't start out that way. And so um, when we talk about money and debt and acquiring credit, there are so many different avenues we can take you down. So that's why we want to answer all of your questions. Hey, Sherry, good to see you there.
Looks like Jessica's got a question too. Would an LLC need to be opened up first? Not to get into real estate investing. If you want to get access to business credit in your business name, absolutely. You got to have a business open to get access to business credit in your business name.
Yeah, and there's a certain way you want to have it set up too. So you'll want
Mhm.
to have a chat with Becky to make sure you're setting them that. We're not attorneys or financial advisors, but we do help you to navigate that educational wise, so that you know the proper questions to ask your CPA and your attorney. So we help you a lot with that. The other thing I want to point out is what is your feedback to stacking credit cards? I believe Hermelinda said.
Um,
Oh, what's the fee for
the
stack?
fee, like what they charge to do it. The last time I talked to him about it, it's usually 10 to 12% of whatever they get for you. It's a pretty normal fee that they charge. And a lot of times those credit cards can be 0% interest for 18 months or whatever. So I don't know. That's a separate deal for me. I just connect you to the people that make sure that gets done and done correctly.
Yeah, we all have our lane to make sure things are on point. Mine's the real estate side.
Right.
We're almost stay on that side of the fence. Um,
Mhm.
And I also know how important money is, and to track it and to get to the cash flow faster. And that's the whole purpose of people getting into real estate, is to live off of that passive income coming in. So the faster you can get there, the better, right? Um, the other thing I want to point out is when my students come on board, there's a lot of like training out there. One of the things that people who do real estate training go immediately, you have to have your LLC. You have to have it. You do not have to have your LLC to get started in real estate investing. I suggest you get educated first and then acquire it, because you might want a different type. Okay. So don't worry about packing that in at the beginning, unless you're looking for business credit. And then of course, as soon as you start that, then you can start the clock into how quickly you can get funds. So that would be my answer as far as if you need an LLC. I know it's directed towards Becky and business credit. When you come on board at the Retire Mastermind, I don't force you to, you got to get your LLC first. No. Because I get that a lot. That's why I wanted to address that and partner it with this question. You only need it if you're going to do business credit right away. Okay. And then I have another student who is closing on a wholesale deal making $15,000. And yeah, right. Who could use $15,000 right now just from flipping paper? And I say that because she didn't do it with an LLC. She didn't do it with needing to do a whole bunch of stuff first, right? She studied her market. That was number one, to know what was right, what were the numbers, and then networked with end buyers. So when a deal did come across and stood up like Waldo, because you know the rents, you know the property value, you know what you could do, plus you've been speaking to end buyers, you know exactly how to close that deal. So when you're able to get a hold of that, like, you can make endless amounts of money. There is no ceiling at that point. Now, some of you might be saying, Joanna, do I need a license? Because I hear that, Illinois, South Carolina, North Carolina, Washington, Oklahoma now, right? You need a license to wholesale deals. And actually, you don't. You do, but you don't. How's that? Hey, guess what? You run a business, wink, wink, and you can use a business entity to acquire it and sell the property. So there is that, and there's a whole lots of nuances that go along with that, but that's what I walk my students through, right, is how to work that. Another student did in Oklahoma, did a wholesale deal within 30 days of joining the program, and she made, what was it, 13,000. She made 13,000 in 30 days. So I'm just saying, this is like we are on the money trip here. There's different ways to create money: business credit, personal credit, wholesaling, flipping, all kinds of different ways. And then also our system to help you pay all of that down and get to your cash flow faster. Who here wants to pay down their credit cards so that they have room for presents and Christmas? I'm just saying. Who here wants to create money in order to have money for Christmas?
Just in time, huh?
Yeah.
We've got a question. Can we get your contact information? And so I've got the meetwithbecky.com, but what is it askjoe.biz? Is that still a thing?
Yes. AskJoe.biz.
Yay. Okay. I'm going to put that in here.
And Hermelinda, did you need the contact info for business credit? Because that would be you, Beck.
Yeah, I'm putting both of them in here. They need us both.
We don't want to confuse y'all, but we want to make sure you get the right data too. So yeah, absolutely. There is a fast track to getting money. There's a fast track to either acquiring money, earning money, creating money, right? And then the creation part is a lot of it is through what I do is through real estate investing, setting you up for a 6-figure flip or setting you up for a wholesale, and then even holding property, because that's the whole purpose of doing real estate, is to hold property for the max tax benefits and the passive cash flow. So if that's not a step for you yet, then I would work on personal credit, business credit, step that up, maybe pay off some bills, right? And you could use that to join the mastermind and then take it a whole nother step further, right? So that's a good strategy for someone to do, is to get your business credit in order, personal credit in order. Use that to pay, leverage everything, Mike. Just leverage everything. It's what it's here for. Now, I want to come back to what Becky said earlier in what we were talking about is a lot of people get credit and then they don't understand how to handle it when they get it. And they go, woo, casino time, right? And so that's why we've attached this other side to it. Like, let's pay it off quickly. Okay? Because if we just argue with getting all the money, like, honey, please, we need to make sure that you pay it off too. So it's kind of a complete sandwich now.
Why would somebody? There was an example that one of my buddies and I was talking about the other day. He's like, I don't know why everybody doesn't get into real estate investing. He says it just doesn't make any sense because time's going to pass whether you do it or you don't do it. And he said, what if you had 10 doors and it was pulling in $1,000 a month cash flow? In other words, you paid off your property. 15 years passed, you paid it off, it's done. Now, how much are you making just having 10 properties? And so he's like, why wouldn't you just do 100? And then how much are you making monthly at 1,000 doors? $100,000 a month. And so we actually had went to our local real estate investing, and there was a guy being featured, and he started 20 plus years ago. And he says, hey, I do all my notes on 15-year notes because I never wanted to pay 30 years on a mortgage. That doesn't make any sense. And now he's got 500 properties. He lives in Maui and he comes back to Oklahoma where he owns all these properties. You know what I mean? Like time's going to pass anyway. And everything else that you do is trading time for money, or you could do risk with stocks, or you could get all savvy with Bitcoin, or there's so many different ways that you could do to generate cash flow. But if you're in the real estate business, if the asset increases every year and you're paying down the deficit, then you're always going to have cash flow that is earning money. And this guy was like, yeah, whenever there's a house not cash flowing for me, I go sit in it for an hour and decide what I can do to build on another room or create some other thing to make it cash flow for me. So I'm making money off of it. So I never lose money. And so I just love that we're in this space together. And I know that's not a question or any of those other things. I just am so grateful that you do this, Joanna.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful that you do what you do, because we're like peanut butter and chocolate.
There you go.
So good. So you guys got like the best of both worlds here. We had another question come in that how could I pay off my mortgage without making the extra payments? Or okay, I'm just gonna make extra payments. Like, what do you say to that?
It depends. What are we paying off and why are we paying it off? And so
the mortgage.
I understand. Are you talking about a personal mortgage? Or are you talking about an asset like a real estate property? So my point is, do you have other kinds of debt? Like, do you have a car payment or do you have credit card debt? Like, what should we attack first and why? yes, we could make extra payments on the mortgage, but is there maybe a different strategy that we could be using? Could we be setting our money in a high yield savings account and leaving it there for a certain amount of time until the day that our money management system says, move your money over here because this is the most strategic thing to do with your money? So I literally, I did a demonstration of a financial analysis for somebody the other day. She's got almost $1 million in debt. And my heart goes out to her because it does, because she's stuck in a bad, I got to pay $400,000 in alimony situation and owns a restaurant and some other things. And so she basically bought him out, and she's like, I don't care if I'm not paying interest on this alimony thing. I just want him paid first. And so we ran the numbers both ways. If we paid him first, even though she's not paying interest and she's got almost $1 million worth of debt, anyways, it's going to save her $464,000 in interest.
Wow.
$464,000 just by being strategic and putting her money in a financial system that tells her exactly what to do, when to do it. And it cut her debt-free date down to 8.2 years.
Oh my God. That's awesome. That's
like
awesome.
so much freedom in that. Like, do you understand how powerful that is? Like, I gave that woman, like, it's going to completely change the trajectory of her life. She's getting divorced after 28 years. Like, she's already heartbroken. Like, this is a crazy thing, right? But now she has light at the end of her tunnel. And so that's a money management system, man. It's a powerful tool in your toolbox.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it gets you to your goals faster, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Without you having to think, or without you having to remember, without you having to.
There's no guessing.
There's no guessing.
It's just math. So it tells you what's going to happen. And you can just
so awesome.
Pedal to the metal.
Should I focus on paying off my personal home first, or invest in real estate first?
Yes. You should do both at the same time, because would you rather buy 5 houses in 30 years or 1 house in 30 years?
That's a good question. What do you guys think? I'm over here on YouTube as well. Okay. How do I balance investing in property and paying off my mortgage at the same time? Yeah, so it's not a balance. It's basically done for you, right? Like, would you consider this more of a done for you service? So you guys have to input pretty much, like, let us know all the things. But then once we know that, then the system goes to work for you.
Let's back up. Can we back up 2 steps?
Yeah.
Beyond the money management system, Joanna, when people buy real estate, is that an asset or a liability?
If it's an investment property, then it's an asset. If it's your personal property, it's a liability.
So how do you balance paying on a second mortgage that is an asset? Like, is it making you money? Do you buy real estate and then you have to put money into it, or are you making money every month when you okay,
cash flow day one? Yeah,
cash flow day one. And in your system, you run all the numbers and you're super specific about making sure that there's even cushion to make sure that they have cash flow almost in a no matter what type of situation, right?
Yes.
And so you're going to be paying your mortgage off anyway, right? And so why wouldn't you have an asset that's cash flowing and bringing you in money, and you got to pay to live somewhere anyway. So you pay down the mortgage too, but you can put the numbers in the money management system and it'll tell you what to do. Takes all the guesswork out of it. Sorry, I just felt like there was a point that needed to be made there about assets versus liabilities.
No, that's good. That's good, because so many people think, and we're conditioned, and this is Wall Street's way of thinking, so that you stay liquid with your money. We're conditioned to buy a house, right? Like, that is an asset. It's the bank's asset. Sure, it's not your asset. It's your liability. And if you do your research and know where all this stems from, they teach you that the American dream is buying a home. And it's not. It's just them keeping you in debt, right? And a 30-year debt. And also, they frown on, and I just automatically went to this big soapbox that I think I should just step the butt right back down. Hold on. Let's reel that one back in before we get too crazy. It is not, you are not trained, you are not educated to be successful in anything other than sitting still and raising your hand when you have a question and following orders. That is all that we're being taught to do. Okay. And it keeps us playing small so that they can play bigger and just treat us all like sheeple. Okay. So that's as far as I'm going to go on that soapbox.
And I think Jessica Torres has got it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, baby.
Yes.
I read it when I was 19. Yes. I love it.
And then the other thing is being able to create your own economic independence. That's my soapbox, which is why I'm holding myself back a little bit here because I want to stay on point with the questions. I could be here all day telling you all the things. So I'm going to reel it back in a little bit here. When you invest in real estate, you save so much on taxes. Okay. I'll just light up around that. I geek out on the tax and legal side. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I can't tell you what to do with your stuff. I can say, this is what we've experienced with all of our people and what they've done and how they've been able to benefit, how we've been able to benefit from knowing the system and how it works. So that's why we share it, right? And one of my students, she gets so mad. She goes, so if I do this, this, and this, and my result is that, and I'm going, it depends, right? She goes, you say that word depends one more time. And I'm like, well, so it depends on what is right for you. And that's why we put our link there to book a call, because each individual has a unique result of what is needed. So when you come on board to the Retire Mastermind, we literally lay out your retirement plan and reverse engineer it to today and give you benchmark steps each week. Okay, our tactics each week towards your benchmarks. And that's what's made my students successful, is being on point, right? And they may not have started with business credit. They started with just learning how to do real estate, and then they made some money. And now they're able to like really dial in all the systems, the different LLCs, the holding companies, you grow into all of that. Most of you are like, I need to know all the things before I start. And you're going to stay stuck at that point. So let us guide you according to your situation, not mine, not the other student that's doing the 6-figure flip, not Becky's. Another investor, we saved $1.2 million on interest, and that was right. That's that investor's particular situation. Another one saved $383,000. And I mean, there's just no saying what yours is going to be. So I would suggest booking a call so that you can. I hope that was helpful. Got it. Now I see it. Hey, Selena. Good to see you. And then what other questions do you have for me? I think you got a point with seeing Selena pop on here.
What other questions do I have? Or what does Selena have?
Or if you have any questions or something I should make more clear.
Something that I'm just curious about, because I just haven't dove into the multi-unit family anything yet. And it's like, I understand the idea that why wouldn't you just buy an apartment complex that has 100 doors versus buying 100 single family homes? Like you got to do a separate loan for each and every one of those. How how do you get the money to borrow to get a 100 unit apartment complex versus single family homes? Because most people, I think, probably just believe that they'd have to start slow and they'd have to start with the one single family home and then move up to maybe five and then keep going, and then they'd have enough assets to get 100 door apartment complex. Can just any regular old person run out and go buy a hundred doors all at once?
I want to say yes and no. Anyone can get into real estate. There's no specific requirements other than, well, you don't even have to be a U.S. citizen. You do have to have a U.S. entity in order to do it. How's that? So it's the lowest threshold, lowest barrier to entry into the wealth cycle. Like it's the easiest thing to do, right? You don't even have to come to the table. If you do stocks, you have to come to the table with cash. And you have to be able to be willing to lose all that money. And then this whole accredited investor thing. If you're making $250,000 or more, you can invest in real estate without us, or we could advertise to the accredited investors. And then there's the friends and family 506B where we can't advertise. We have to know you first.
So
The reason I'm saying there's,
what is
sorry,
that? What's a 506B?
So 506B is what the regulation is for the IRS as an investment category, and the 506B is friends and family. We cannot advertise while the escrow is open about that deal. Okay.
But
and that's to get investors to bring their money in, to be limited partners to invest with us.
okay. And so that's how you buy 100 doors at a time, is by getting people, a whole bunch of people, to pull their money all at once and invest.
Yep.
So you're not necessarily purchasing the apartment complex all for yourself. You're not taking the whole liability. It's like you own a piece of it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So if you come on,
I know this. I'm just trying to, because sometimes Joanna is used to speaking this language all the time, and so I'm pulling it out just a little bit to make it more.
I appreciate you breaking it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hey Donna, good to see you. Donna's watching. Hey Dave. And then Tika, good to see you as well. But also, so if you want to buy 100 units and it ends up being a 506B, there is an 80 split to the LP investors and there's a 20 split to the people that are operating and handling, called the general partner team. So we would handle all of tenant, toilet, any issues, and then LPs just bring their money to the table. They have no responsibility, no liability. It's just their funds to the property. All the liability and risk lies with the general partner team. Mm-hmm. And so what is typical in a large multi-family deal is to do 80% of all cash flow, all monies, equities, all the things goes to the LP. So on one of the deals we have, you're literally doubling your money by the end of the exit strategy. And each exit strategy is different. They are typically 3, 5, 7, and 10 years. Those are the typical windows that we do in multifamily, depending on how big it is, how much rehab we have to do. And then there's those that hold in perpetuity, which is they just take it and refinance it and hold it for the long term, like the BRRRR strategy, right? For single family. But this is how you could literally get a hold of. So I'm working with a deal right now. Let me tell you a prior one because this one's fresh, and I don't want to get into the weeds of the fresh one. I'll tell you one that's already closed. One that's already closed is it's a 40 unit in Alabama, and so developing the deal. You don't have to have, if you find the deal, you don't have to have any money in the game or credit hold or anything like that. You can partner with someone who has that, okay, which is called a KP, a key principal, all right, to gather that loan. So that now the 40, I'm saying this, I'm giving you the example of the 40 units because it's one that I have closed already, and then the 61 units as well. But you can structure it so that someone else is coming to the table with that and you get paid for finding the deal. So there's that. Okay. In the single family world, it's called wholesale. Okay. Now they're teaching how to do wholesale into multifamily as well. It's a lot of things out there that are talking about that, but in our world of multifamily, it's called acquisitions. So as an acquisition person, you would get a hold of the deal, bring it to somebody like me and say, hey, I have a deal, and I need a team to take it down with me. So you would get paid either to hand over the deal and we would take it down if it fits our criteria, or you can take half and then put the other half and have it as equity in the deal and work the deal with us, or you can put the whole thing that you're going to get paid in the deal so you get more equity at the back end. So there's different ways to work that. So the 40 unit that I'm talking about, got a hold of it, had people come to the table, sign on the loan from the bank, and then we brought in LPs, limited partners, to be able to fund it. And so the reason somebody would come to the table, and this is totally normal in multifamily and real estate period, is people don't have the time, the patience, the education, the whatever. They're just like, turn my money, give me some more money. And it's protected against the asset, right? It's not you handing me a check and I'm going to, the casino and let's see what we can do with it. Snake eyes, shit. Okay. So we want to make sure that, anyone who's playing has a safe asset to play in, and that it's got a great return on investment. We're very conservative with our numbers. The past 3 deals, we've already went over pro forma. So what that means is we've already gone past our projections, right? We're cash flowing more than what we thought we would in layman's terms, right? Like, let's break it all down. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys to understand. That one was a 506B, so friends and family had to be a part of it. I have another one for our accredited investors, which is $200K or more for a single, or 250, and then married is 300,000 in net worth reoccurring, and or $1 million portfolio that you have minus your current residence, which I think is hocus pocus kind of crap that they put on us, because you could literally go spend $50,000 at the casino, drunk off your butt at 2 a.m. and lose all that money, but that's okay. They'll let you invest it in their casino, but you have to be accredited to work with us right? Like it's just a hoax. It's hokey. So, but I do geek out on the tax and legal side of things. So I want to make that clear that even though I don't like it or think it's right, we do follow SEC law. And if you guys haven't spoken with us yet and you want to be an LP in one of our deals, we have a 48 unit that we're working on right now. And the cash flow is amazing. It's like one of the better ones that we have that we're closing on right now. So we could talk more if you just want to be a passive investor, come on board and be a passive investor, 100,000, 50,000, whatever that you're looking at. We just had a gal come in at 100,000 on one of our deals. So that's typical. What I would say is 7 investors with 200K a piece would be ideal for this one. Okay.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What if you don't have $200,000?
So you might want to talk to Becky about getting an LLC in order. Not that she's
saying, like, that's one of the ways to do passive, whatever, right? And so, except Jessica says we could go to the casino and just win the money. No, she did not say that, but she said she loves your casino references. So I just think going and tripling your money at the casino, isn't that how it always works?
No.
No. So this is
so
like more of a sure thing. But
That's why
so
I find it so crazy that they allow you to be drunk off your butt in the morning to go play in the casino, but you have to have all these credentials in order to invest in real estate. Like, what's the difference? Money's going in there and you're expecting a return on investment. The safer bet's real estate all day long. I'm going to leave it at that.
sure. So now my brain's going like, okay, but if you borrowed the money on a credit card and funded $100,000, would you get your money, your return on investment back? You know what I mean? Like how much anyway, so now it's like my math brain is taken over. But the point is that you know how to map out things and get it done. And the other thing is that we use a money management system, so you can put all those numbers in there and it'll tell you if you make money or not make money. It does forecasting and things like that to see if it's worth it to borrow the money at whatever the rate is in order to invest this way so that you don't have to be the one cleaning the toilets, but you still get a return on investment. I like your do you want to be rich like now or rich for sure, for real?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, it's
Yeah,
that
a
for
lot of
sure.
people come around and they're like, they want to just hit the red button, like the easy button. Let's go. It's done, right? It's, I, I made millions, right? No. That takes quite a bit of work to get there. And most people are not willing to do the work, which is why you would want to invest in our deals, because you are friends and family. You're in my group. And then, and those of you who aren't, who get a hold of this recording somehow, some way, I'm speaking to my friends and family inside of my Facebook group to, if you want to be a part of the deal, like we can make arrangements, how you could work it. The other thing that Becky started to say is, what if you don't have the 200,000? And I just want to like clear that up a little bit, that getting an LLC, and because you want to do business credit anyways, you can even get an LLC, pack in, you know, 4 or 5 people in your LLC at 25 grand a piece, build up that money and use it to invest in some of our deals, right? And then you would come into our deal as an entity, not a singular person. You guys tracking with me? And it's still as an LP, so you get compensated. But there, you're not having to deal with tenants and toilet and do all the stuff the GP team has to do, all the asset management, running the numbers, cutting the checks, giving out the dividend checks, and then making sure everything is on point. That's a lot that we have to do inside of the GP team as operators, we call this, right? So again, if you don't have the cash, go create the cash, come together in an LLC, and then come invest with us. That's
There you go. Sounds like a pretty good strategy.
Yeah. So either way, we got you. We got you. Let me see if there's anything else on YouTube here. Anyone else have any questions? Better than card counting. Yeah. Right, Jessica? Absolutely. Better than card counting. Where do I even start if I've never invested in real estate before? So I do have a how to get started if you guys need that, how to get started in real estate investing, free mini course if you guys want that. It goes over all the nuances about getting started, and then you can decide according to your money, according to your situation, according to your time, according to, you will know. We hash all of that out and have you do action steps with each step so that you understand how to get started for yourself. Because you could Google to tell the cows come home how to get started in real estate, and you're like, maybe I'll wholesale, maybe I'll flip, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. And it's really difficult to know. But I put my people through a stringent process that says, okay, because of this, this, and this is the path you're going to take to get started in real estate. Was I clear as mud there, Becky?
You were very clear. Just get with you and you'll map out a plan, and then you'll give them a step-by-step guide of how to get there and what to do. That's
Yeah,
what I heard.
absolutely. Because it's different for everybody. It's
Mm-hmm.
different for everybody. So wholesaling might not be for you. I've had people go, "Oh, I'm going to wholesale and make $15,000 or 10,000, whatever it is," and I've had students come in and do that. Just last week, $15,000. Or she's in contract. I want to be specific. She closes
Mhm.
on the 8th. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she's, $15,000. That's everything right there. $10,000, making that right away. But some people, they get in and they're like, I can't freaking stand wholesale. Then don't do it. Right. But they think they have to, Becky, because they're like, that's how you get started because I don't have money or credit. So you don't have to. The good news is you don't have to. You don't have to get started with wholesale. And I don't suggest flipping because flipping is a high risk right now, especially since we're in either a flat or down market. And it's only going to stay this way at least until through winter. And then we might peak because there's going to be different rate cuts. We just had one in September that moved the ice a little bit of this frozen market, and there's supposed to be a couple more cuts. So it might be even better come the next year, but nobody really does real estate in the winter. Some do, don't get me wrong. But the majority, all of this is going to go like in full gear come spring, right? Come spring. So getting educated while you're waiting,
While you're hibernating.
right? So, and then
Getting the money set up, getting access set up, getting everything set up so that whenever spring comes and that deal comes along, you're already set up to go. Just in time
exactly,
for Christmas.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, again, not necessarily you have to do wholesale. You can literally start with holding property. One gal who did a VIP session with me closed on a deal just from one session. I'm sorry, 2 sessions with me that was broken up in 2 different days. 2 sessions with me. And she was able to acquire property to create $950 extra cash flow in her pocket.
Like monthly or just in
Monthly.
general? Oh, wow.
Monthly.
Monthly?
Yes, monthly. You could
Wow.
use an additional $950
Like
monthly.
if you were just working a regular normal 9 to 5, like what, $15, $20 an hour, how many hours? I don't even know the math. Say I don't know. I
Of
got
what?
in my head. How many hours a month would that save you in time? $1,000 a month or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
like that's how you build residual income. That's amazing. It's
Yeah.
not
I
much,
just,
and it's everything.
yeah.
That's how
So
much my mom
having,
gets paid in Social Security a month. I'm just saying, like, now she just needs to go do that 10 more times, and then she'd be pulling in 10 grand a month.
or she just buys a 6 unit, 2 6 units, or a 12 unit.
Or that.
Yeah. So, and it's simple, y'all. It's simple. It's simple. I acquired 134 doors in 12 months.
Mhm.
It's simple. It's not easy, though. It takes work and dedication and certain hours you got to put in. I'm working with a gal right now. She's having trouble putting in the hours because she's working 3 jobs,
Mhm.
crying out loud. And that's where we've gotten to. And that's why I'm on my soapbox to get into real estate and get in the passive income as fast as possible because,
Mhm.
the middle class is being squished out. And if you don't have passive income, residual income is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity. It is a necessity. If you don't have extra income coming in besides your job, anything can happen with your job. Anything. My husband went through, I can't even tell you how many layoffs. I said, would you just retire already? So we're at that age. I just dated myself, but we could do that. And most people are like, well, I'm going to work till I die. Well, what if you couldn't work and you were still alive?
Plan for all of that too, not just real
Right.
estate investing, but we have a whole other master plan that we're setting
Exactly.
up for people.
We just need you to get started, and then we
Mhm.
could coagulate it so it works for you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We have to plan and get ready today. Like, don't think your job is secure. I don't care how secure you think it is, it's not.
Mhm.
It's not. And even if for some reason I'm wrong and it is secure, so doubtful, like maybe a 1% there. Maybe it is secure. What if you couldn't? So back to my landlord having a stroke back in my early 20s. She was living off her cash flow from the real estate. And when she had a stroke and could no longer do the things that she needed to do, like if I had a stroke, it'd be difficult for me to talk in front of this camera, right? It'd be difficult for me to go to work. I would be out at least 6 months in repairing myself, and if I was unrepairable, it'd be longer, right? So who here has the cash flow that's going to suffice you for that? Okay. Another student was skiing and broke his clavicle. Like, he couldn't go to work. Like, life happens all the time. And Sandy, her son got run over by a Jeep. She didn't predict that. Like, who would? And she had to be home and be with her son. She couldn't be at a JOB. But she's still alive, right? She didn't die. She didn't work until she died. Her son faced a major, almost near-death experience, and she needed to be there 24/7 for him. You can't do that and still get cash flow, right? You're a paycheck. You can't do that and still get a paycheck.
It's true.
So what are you doing today? It's not just because it's not. I see it firsthand all day long. Yes, absolutely. So you have to prepare for what could happen, right? We don't wait for something to happen. We prepare for it to happen. So when something does happen, her husband was on a ladder and fell off the ladder, and he broke his neck, or he
broke his neck.
He broke it, yeah.
Yeah.
And she all of a sudden had to become the breadwinner. What the? Like, I can't stand it when people are in those situations and then shock happens and they're forced to do things they know nothing of. But again, that shock puts that fire under that rear to get something done, because otherwise you guys are too comfortable. You guys are living in comfort, and that's dangerous. It's like a boiling frog, right? You don't know that you're boiling. So if you feel comfortable right now, just know that there's a little boil happening, and you may not know it. How fast it boils depends on the economy, depends on your job, depends on all kinds of things. But that's what you're sitting in if you don't have a backup plan to creating passive income, residual income, and having assets so you pay less in taxes. These are all the important steps that we want to make sure that you guys have. And there's all kinds of nuancy things you get to do to get there. Like, maybe it is your personal credit, or building business credit, or how do we take a look at your current credit cards and mortgages and loans that you have interest on, and which to pay off first. And then what real estate strategy do you want to be on? Do you want to wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold, money lend? Do you want to be an LP to large apartments? We have 48 units in contract right now. Again, I'm not going to get into that particular one because we're in our due diligence period right now. I'll keep you all posted. But I'm saying this because there could be an opportunity if you want to be an LP on that, and then you get that cash flow and you get tax write-offs. So good. So if you guys just have a W-2, you're paying way too much in taxes. Let's fix that. Anything you want to say to that, Becky?
No, I think you just said it all. Mic drop moment. Like, it's good. Just work with us, get into real estate investing, and then let's move forward. So we quit telling people to get into real estate investing and they just do it, right? Like,
yeah, just do it. Take action. Whatever it takes, take action. And book a call with us so we can figure out an action plan for you too, if you need one. The other thing is, if you have a real estate deal, like, if you think you want to be a part of something, let me know so that I can. So someone brought me a deal, and I said, run as fast as you can from this deal, right? And he's like, well, what? Why? I don't get it. There are red flags that I can see from my 25 years of experience of certain real estate you don't want to touch. So please, let's let's pull together. This is what I do for my students. They have a whole session. We go over deal or no deal to make sure that the numbers make sense. Because at first they might make sense, but then once you get into the weeds, the nuances, maybe the debt doesn't, maybe the rehab goes over, or oh, I didn't see that I needed all new windows. Shoot, that's another, somewhat $1,000. And so, anyways, there's just things that I see that some people don't see. And please be coachable. I did have a gal that came to me, and God bless her. Woo! As much as I try, there's still those that want to do it themselves. She goes, you don't know what you're talking about. These numbers are great. And I said, they're I can never say that, pro forma numbers. They're numbers that are going to happen 5 to 7 years from now. It should cash flow today. Today. Nobody's going to invest with you if they have to wait 7 years to 10 years to get a nickel. So there are deals that aren't good deals. And I really want to keep y'all. I want to be the bumper pads like the bowling alleys so that you don't fall in the ditch, right?
Nice.
But yeah, she was not coachable and told me she's brand new. She's done 2 wholesale deals. Brand spanking new to real estate. She said, you don't know what you're talking about. This is a good deal. Okay. She said, I'm going to do it anyways, regardless of what. I said, okay. I gave you my piece. There's not much else I could say for you. Y'all going to do what you're going to do. So she stands to lose $50,000 if she does it.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Could y'all afford to lose $50,000?
No.
And the one girl I saw in the forum going, hey, I don't need a mentor. I only lost $30,000 on this flip. Do you hear yourself?
It's not gambling. It doesn't have to be gambling.
I am not okay with losing any money. Like,
right?
I got PO'd when I lost $500. Okay. And my son came back around to me. He goes, yeah, but you're such a professional mom that you only lost $500. I'm like, thank you for pointing that out, because it was my earnest money deposit, right? If somebody would put down $3,000, I put down $500. And it was when I first moved to Pennsylvania. I was planning a wedding, and I was looking at all these properties that were dirt cheap. And anyways, I missed the contingency date, and I lost my $500. So no excuse, but I'm PO'd that I lost $500. There's no way I'd be okay with losing $30,000 or $50,000. I would never put that at risk. Crazy that people think that's okay. That freaks me out for people. Awesome. Anyone else have any questions here? It's not I see it firsthand. From Linda, Amy, Jessica, Dave, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Donna. Okay. I think we got them all. Oh, Aleen's here with Sherry Evans. Okay. Did I get them all? Anything else, Becky, that you want to leave people with other than?
I'm good. Meetwithbecky.com, askjoe.biz. Hit us up. Let's figure out how to help you map out a plan and move to the next step in your world. Like, let's get them assets going. And if you already got some assets going, let's get some more assets going so that we can travel together and do fun things together.
Yes. Oh, yes. And then we're going to be doing our Women's Wealth retreat. So the very first one is going to be in Oklahoma, and then we're going to have a next one in Dominican Republic. So that one has to wait. But just know that all of these properties that I own, we're going to go see.
Yay.
And I want to take you guys to each of them. So
we're going to map out some master plans. There's going to be things that you will not get on Zoom or in whatever, all this stuff. It's so different in person to really dial everything in and step out and figure out what you're going to do with this next year.
Yes. So if you guys want to be a part of that, let us know. We can talk more about it on our call. Again, www.askjoe.biz. And then Becky's is
meetwithbecky.com.
there you go. We're good to go. All right. This is our Sunday service. I hope this served you well. And I look forward to seeing you in the DMs and next Sunday. And put your questions, whatever you want answered for next week, we'll bring them to the table.
Yay.
All right. Take care. Bye.